Here it is at this point in the process. It's not like one of those videos where they turn around the picture, but it's kind of close. So this is going to be displayed portrait style. Anyway, here's some of my patterns. So I won't be able to get all of this in one shot on the camera, but you can see there's all my elements. I'm pretty excited about this. I'm very excited about it, to be real honest. All right, so what's next? So what is next is I am going to mix up some DIY texture paste. I'm going to be using a video by Natasha at Treasure Books, and I will link that video in the comments. I will be using cornstarch. She uses talcum powder, but I will use that. I will be using some white glue, and I will be using some white paint. What I will start with is 2 tablespoons of the powder and a tablespoon each of these two to get a texture paste that will not be as heavy body as what you would buy in the store, because what I intend to do is fill this bottle with it, and then I am going to use this to write the lines on the egg, or not on the egg. Well, you're a Pysanky artist, you just don't get it out of you. Write the lines with the texture paste around here. Just the outline of the black lines. I won't be doing the black lines here. My goal is I want it to be raised just enough to give it a little bit of depth, to give it the appearance of being like an etched egg. That is the goal. So let's get started making the paste. All right, so this is my container that I'm going to use. It is a makeup jar. In the video, you'll see where they use 2 tablespoons, and I don't have a tablespoon, I have this thing. So we're going to see how well this works. But I will be using these same proportions. So there's 1, and oops, there's 2. I made a mess on the desk. Thought that might happen. All right, so now we'll do one of the glue. Oops, maybe we'll do one of the glue. Oh. Okay, get the lid off of it. Okay, that glue did not look good. I'm going to dump that out. All right. So I shook it up, and now it looks more like white glue. All right, so put that in there. Yeah, it's really runny glue, so I'm kind of anticipating I'll need more cornstarch, but we'll see. All right, and now I'm going to use, well, that was rude. Tablespoon of white paint. All right. And now I'm going to go rinse this spoon off so I will be able to use it again. All right, so now I'm going to start stirring this up. And what I'm looking for is a consistency that holds together. And it's kind of runny. Not runny, I shouldn't say. I don't want it to be runny, but I don't want it to be super, super stiff. Actually, this is looking pretty good. It's kind of okay. So I'm seeing a few lumps in there, so I'm just going to keep stirring it. And I may not have made enough. That's why I did it in black. I'm sorry, that's why I made it in white, because I will be painting it black. I thought about putting black paint rather than white paint, but then I was afraid I wouldn't get the same shade if I had to make up more. So I decided to go with white, and I'm going to paint it. I don't know if I'm going to paint it or use the Posca marker. I haven't decided yet. Okay, so let's look at this. It holds its shape. And okay. Now I am going to attempt to put it in this bottle. Not a real big hole. I'm going to look for a funnel. I don't see one. Let's see. Let's see how this was going to work. This is going to take a while. Okay, well, I guess patience is the name of the game here. All right, we'll just keep working at that. Okay, that was a little harder than I'd anticipated. I did finally get it into this squeeze bottle, and I tried to do some there just with a paintbrush since I was having so much trouble with this, and I decided not to pursue that. So anyway, I've got it. It's starting to come out, so we're going to try it and see what happens. Okay, oh, that's working pretty good. Okay, that worked pretty good. We need to fix this up here where it's kind of a bump. Maybe I'll get a toothpick and fix that up. Okay, we'll try doing this a little bit more. Yes, I'm realizing you can't really stop and you have to squeeze really slow. Okay, I'm going to need a toothpick to clean this up, I think. And I do have a toothpick here, so let's see if we can smooth this out a little bit. And then maybe clean this up a little bit. Smooth that out. Okay. This is obviously going to take a little time, and I'm going to really hope that what's in the squeeze bottle does not dry before I get all this done. I'm sure it will all work out. I won't be putting it right up to the edge because it has to go in the frame. And So I'll probably stop like right about there. So it can kind of go into the frame. I don't want it sticking up. I can stick up a little bit, but not too much. Okay, I think I'm getting the hang of this. All right. What I found in doing this, the hardest thing is it's not easy to turn it because it's so big. It's like turning an egg. You can't just, you know, flip it over on the side. And it's gonna easily turn. If I'd done this with a smaller canvas. Okay, I'm gonna keep working on this. This is gonna take a little while. But it is kind of fun now that I'm getting the hang of it. I think the biggest challenge for me is to be able to see where I need to put it. Okay, I have to work that one out. Okay, we can do this. We can do this. And of course, the good thing about using the acrylic paint is if I really mess something up, I can paint over it. And I'm going to tell you, when I was doing this, there's a few spots that I have repainted. I'm not going to tell you where, but there were a few that didn't turn out quite like I wanted, and I just repainted it and did it again. Anyway, okay, so we're going to keep working on this, and then I'm going to let this dry for at least 24 hours before I start to paint these lines. So when I come back, we'll be doing the painting part. Well, this took a little longer than I'd anticipated. I will say that I got better at putting the lines on it. I learned that it was easier if I drew the lines coming toward me. I could see better where the line needed to go, and I could also see how well the paste was coming out of it. I did have to make additional paste. The first one didn't quite cover it all. Whew. Hope this works. If it doesn't, I'll probably scrape it all off and then touch everything up with paint. But let's hope that this dries well, that it sticks to it. Hadn't really given that a whole lot of thought, so I'm hoping it sticks to it. I will find out after 24 hours. I'm going to set this aside and not think about it for 24 hours. That's my goal. And then I will, assuming everything works properly, and I just know it will, then I'll start painting all these lines black. I don't know if I'm going to use the Posca marker or if I'm going to use paint. I haven't decided yet. Right now I'm kind of leaning toward paint over Posca marker, but we'll see. Okay, I'll be back in 24 hours. Well, here I am back. I've put the modeling paste or flexible paste, whatever you want to call it, put it on here, let it dry overnight, and I don't know if you can see, like right here, this whole piece flaked off. This piece broke off. I just don't have it in me to redo all of it. So anyway, I'm going to take it all off. Where it stays on a little bit, like right there, I'm okay with that. It'll give it a little bit of texture. Other areas kind of came off completely. I'm okay with that. So anyway, so now I'm going to pick it all off. It was a nice experiment to try. I'm guessing what happened was that stuff's usually meant to be used more in a thinner layer, and I had it on here, I mean, really pretty thick for how it was meant to be. And I think that's probably the reason it's flaking off. And it's also breaking off. It's got a lot of cracks and splits in it, like right there. So it was a good experiment. Glad I did it. I might make that modeling paste again for maybe in use with a junk journal, something like that. But I won't be putting it on paintings like this anymore. So I'm going to take all this off, fix up the lines, and then I'll be back to show you hopefully the final painting. I had to move the canvas outside because as I was removing all of the texture paste, and it doesn't look too horrible in the video. There's some rough spots, and that's okay. That'll just give the black lines some texture. But the reason I came outside is this is what my deck looks like now. So now I have to clean up all of this. It was all over me, all over my chair. Anyway, so I'm gonna clean up the deck, brush this off really good, and then see what damage I did and next steps. Okay, so I scraped off, picked off, flung off the texture paste. I did leave some on there. So if you look at this, you see that it looks, the lines have texture. It shows up better in person. I painted it, and I don't know if you can tell, the paint's kind of shiny. So right now it's about 8 p.m. I think I'm just going to put this aside, take a shower, clean all the little flecks of texture paste that's stuck in my hair and elsewhere on me, and then I'll look at this again in the morning. I kind of like the shiny lines, but I don't know if they distract, and I don't know if in the morning they'll still look this shiny. So I'm learning a lot. I'm still loving my painting, but I'm kind of ready now for it to be done. So we'll take a look in the morning. And in the morning I'm also going to one of my art groups called Mixed Arts. We do kind of whatever we want to do in the group. There's about 5 or 6 of us. The only thing we don't really do is oil painting. But the group is very good at giving feedback to one another. So I want to get some feedback from them too on what they think of it. And then we'll keep working on it, and it will get done. I know it will. And I will move on. This was a good break from doing Pysanky, because it was Pysanky inspired, but painting. But as I said, I'm kind of ready for it to be done. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Hello, we're back. Okay, very exciting news. First off, I have been making some progress on some studio cleanup while I have been waiting for things to dry. So I have this new little cart here that I put Pysanky stuff on. This is Pysanky stuff. Been trying to organize. I've actually thrown some things away. Okay, didn't do anything with this because these are all my eggs that I've received in egg exchanges, and some of my bigger ones that were some of my early eggs. So got that done. And over here, again, okay, to the untrained eye, this might not look organized, but that shelf unit is a lot more organized than what it was. My goal is to have nothing on the floor in front of it, but as you can see, I'm not there yet. The sewing machine is still there, and this egg display that I did, I'm going to zoom in on. I did this, when did I do this? In 2020. It's a goose egg in the middle, 4 chicken eggs and 3 pigeon, or four chicken eggs and 4 pigeon eggs, and they're suspended in there on some fishing line wire. I don't know what to do with it. I keep moving it around, and I found it. Actually, I'd forgotten I had it. I found it when I cleaned off this shelving unit, which again is more organized than what it was. There's all my ostrich eggs. And then this is stuff for journal making. That's stuff for mosaics. That's stuff for journal making. That's stuff for mosaics and jewelry down there. And then that bottom tub is goose eggs, but it's not big enough because I have a bunch of goose eggs in another box. So big improvement. Now behind me is my table, one of the 2 tables that is so piled high with stuff that because if I did know where to do it, I'd put it on that table. So I don't have that done yet. But here is a little bit of messy studio in the background, but here is my painting. Let's see. Let me see if I can switch this to the portrait mode. Okay. I know this is a little shaky because I'm having to hold the camera, but I really love the way it turned out. I love it even more in the frame. You can really see a lot of the Pysanky style designs in this, which it was supposed to be inspired by things I put on eggs, and some of it modified so it could work well on a painting. Because what I learned was there's a big difference to doing some of these designs on a curved surface versus a flat surface. So one more thing I want to show you. I know I said I was going to take a little Pysanky break, but I did this one on a brown egg, so that's part of the pattern. Well, all of these are patterns that were on the painting, and some of them, like this and this and this, I had never done on an egg. So this was a brown egg. I put it in a light blue to get this color, and then I put it in turquoise, and then I put it in black. So that was fun to do. And then I thought, well, hey, what if we tried to do the whole thing do this like on a chicken egg? I don't think a chicken egg really does justice to trying to do these types of patterns. And it was a little hard to plan it out like I did the painting, but I thought, hey, this will be fun. I missed some wax there in some spots, so it was just meant to be fun, and it was fun to do. I don't know what I'm going to do with this egg. It will probably become part of a mosaic, but it was a good learning experience. So I am again very excited about my painting. There it is again. Thanks for following along with me on this journey. I'm so excited about the way this turned out. And stay tuned for further Pysanky adventures. Thanks so much for watching.